Alright, let's take another look at the recent Pokemon Direct because there might have been a few things that you missed. And we're going to be starting off with Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX because there's some fancy things. That's Lucario. Lucario was not playable in the original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, so it's not just going to be a straight remake, there's going to be more content added in, which I guess is suggested in the DX title. And Lucario, it's kind of weird to follow the trail of what happened with Lucario back in the mid-2000s. So, Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. It premiered July 16th, 2005. But it wasn't even the first Generation 4 Pokemon that we saw because Munchlax was in Destiny Deoxys, which came out before Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. So that's kind of wild. And then when we look at Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red and Blue Rescue Team, came out in November 2005. So after Lucario Mystery of Mew, which means that Lucario was already known as a Pokemon, but was only mentioned and not playable inside of the Mystery Dungeon games. And we can see this on Bulbapedia, inside games. Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time and Darkness was when Lucario got its Mystery Dungeon debut. So Lucario fans, get hype, enjoy your new buddy, and then Mega Evolution with the Empowerment Seed is also available in these games. So depending on like how much you cared about the reveal and how much you were paying attention, we got some pretty cool updates, and we also got to see some gameplay inside the town and some extra bit of stuff. So yeah, tell me what you guys think, especially if you're a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon fan. How do you feel about the original games kind of getting modernized in a really interesting way? Even if you don't care about Mystery Dungeon that much, I'd like to know your thoughts. And for the rest of this video, if you enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like, and if you learned something that you didn't realize about the Direct, then share it with your friends as well. And this isn't about like a discovery in the Direct, but I just noticed something. Mega, 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 Mega. Game Freak was playing favorites almost a decade before X and Y came out. Fancy that. So now let's get into the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass. So early on in the Pokemon Direct, like right after we get information about Mystery Dungeon, 4 minutes 30 seconds, we see art of the legendary birds. But it's revealed later on that they get Galarian forms. So was this here to just kind of like set up hype that if you quickly identify that, it's like, wait, oh man, legendary Pokemon are going to be available in Sword and Shield, and then they completely change it. So did you catch this in the trailer when you were watching it, and what do you think it means? Are we going to have both forms available, or was this just some kind of reference and they weren't going to spoil everything, and they were just kind of setting it up for later on in the video? And then when we look at this tree concept art, dude, that's like scale of a person, and these apples are massive. So that's interesting. And then we can get into some cool things. So depending on how much you kind of like scan the Pokemon website, how many times you rewatch Pokemon Direct, you might have missed this. So a new way to battle, restricted sparring. The Isle of Armor will also introduce a way to challenge yourself with some new battles. With restricted sparring, you'll be limited to what types of Pokemon you can use and forced to battle under set conditions. Give it a try and give some of your Pokemon that are normally overlooked a chance to shine. Now, the way that says like a new way to battle restricted sparring, it sounds like a common battle method, so it seems alternative, kind of like inverse. I wonder if that's going to be picked up competitively, not like, you know, VGC level, but to the point where you can actually select that battle style and like set restrictions against other people, where it's like, alright, you can only play with this type and against my type of this type, or it's only like one type for both opponents. So I wonder if it's going to be that advanced, kind of like a multi-battle, rotation battle, or inverse battling, or if you're just going to be a part of that area and it's going to be NPC only, which means it could also unlock a new battle facility. So many Battle Frontier shenanigans going on when you think about it, if there's actually like a way of earning battle points or doing a consecutive repeat challenge, and it's only going to be through restricted sparring. So that's a cool little thing to pay attention to. And then new features added in the Isle of Armor. So we're going to have the EXP charm. Still don't know how effective it is, if it's going to be better than just like EXP candy. And then new tutor moves. So new moves that have never been available in past Pokemon series games will appear in this expansion. I'm wondering if they're also going to be bringing back older tutor moves. Like, we're just going to have flat tutors, so TMs, TRs, and tutor moves, and then all new, brand new Generation 8 moves, because there weren't really too many added that a lot of Pokemon got access to. The most prevalent one is Body Press, but then a lot of the other ones were going to be exclusive to Generation 8 Pokemon, and I wonder if they're going to pull a Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, there were moves like Strength Sap, originally only available on Shiinotic and then became available to other Pokemon like Blossom. So we're going to see if, like, just after a couple months, we're going to see the expansion of these moves, new tutor moves, and then returning moves like Defog, Pain Split, which are completely lacking in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So that's a thing. And then just details about the Isle of Armor. Once again, depending on how much you were paying attention to the website or just kind of like reading in things, I like what we have to look forward to. Forests, bogs, caves, sand dunes. There's going to be a lot of diversity, and the screenshots that we have and like what we can just kind of see inside of it, it looks beautiful. So we got a nice little inlet going on over here. I have the video slowed down so we can just kind of pay a little bit more attention, soak it in, but this might actually be a little too slow. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with Flower Island over there, but there's the forest. So I like this trail. It kind of feels like a route, but it's also going to bring the wild area, because this area, like the expansion pass areas, are just going to be wild area. So free camera, dens hanging out, and a route-ish kind of feel, but with that open exploration. So I'm looking forward to something like this. Like, that's going to be very moody. That's going to have a lot of, like, really cool feel behind it. Also, the concept art of the bog, which makes it seem like we're going to have access to Sonia's hairstyle, which is another cool thing to think about. And then we can see in-game that, man, if you try to, like, use your imagination and project this into, like, a beautiful in-game Pokemon setting, I think Game Freak delivers on it really well. So we get to see some cool things, which is why I'm even looking forward to something like the forest, especially after looking at the cave. You know, this is more like the linear, straight kind of caves we've seen in more recent Pokemon games, but it still feels cool. And it's also one of the things that was explained on the website, so we can pick out the little details and then keep referencing back and forth between all of the information that we have, and we get to just see, yeah, the beaches, the detail in the area just looks wonderful. And then going back to the website, we can check out the concept art for the Isle of Armor, where we can actually see 2 new Pokemon for Sword and Shield. We have Golduck and Psyduck. So Junichi Masuda's favorite Pokemon made it in. But yeah, we got 2 fat yellow Pokemon and then a lanky blue Pokemon. What else could it be? So those will be confirmed as a part of the 100 new Pokemon being added in. And then there's a lot of cool things to point out. So yeah, it looks like that Flower Island is visible over there, which means we can actually see it through the gameplay. So it's nice little bits of details kind of lining up. And then we've seen these like towers, these dojos. So are these just going to be new battle facilities, or like little waypoint areas, you know, places to heal up our Pokemon, places to interact, buy items, and exchange with other trainers, because there aren't any towns. You know, it's not like a traditional Pokemon map. It's just going to be added onto the Galar region, so we can see some of those extra details kind of coming together right here. And I just wanted to kind of show some other things from the Pokemon Direct. Tutor moves, all new moves, Apricorns can be made into Pokeballs. That's the big hype. I haven't talked about it a lot, because it's like, I'm used to it, I've accepted that, but some people, you know, they really love having pretty balls on their Pokemon, especially when it comes to like breeding Kurt balls and stuff. So being able to collect Apricorns and then turn them into like those fancy Pokeballs, that's gonna be really cool. And it's awesome that there's not just gonna be 1 per game now. And then the experience charm, we're gonna see how that ends up playing out. Also with like max raid battles and getting Gigantamax Pokemon and like rare and hard to catch Pokemon, having multiple Apricorns, that's going to be really nice. I want to show some of the dojo things going on, because once again we can see that through the gameplay. So running up there, that's going to be the main dojo that has Mustard. We can even see the red and blue towers that were identifiable on the map and through other parts of gameplay. We can look inside as well, so it is going to be like a Pokemon arena inside. Just kind of showing there's like many buildings, there's many different waypoints, there's a lot of things that are going on in this area, and some of them are very specific. Like, this is where we're going to do most of our training, and then this is going to be the extra stuff, which looks like where the restricted battles are going to take place. And then one interesting thing to note is how Galarian Slowpoke evolves into Slowbro, because there's no shelter on its tail, but we can't see its head. However, when we see the Galarian Slowking, you know, there's like a menacing little eye peeking out behind like the little scribbles. So we can tell that the Galarian Slowking is much different to the Galarian Slowbro, especially because we don't like see the little frills going on right here. So something fancy is going down, and the yellow becomes purple instead. So yeah, how crazy would it be if Galarian Slowpoke into Slowbro doesn't even have a shoulder evolution, because then if it's just like both of them are going to be on the head, that seems too similar to Slowking. Or like, what if one half of its body is like taken over by a crazy shoulder or something? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this evolution. But that's a detail that is worth pointing out for those of you that are very keen on your Pokemon knowledge. So it's like, oh wait, naked tail on a Slowbro. That doesn't happen. So we're going to keep up with that. And then I do want to keep making information clear, because idiots choose to be idiots, that no, there is no paid DLC for the National Dex. Free update. It's free to get all of the Pokemon. So you won't be able to catch them in the game, but through Pokemon Bank or through trades, all of the Pokemon are available. So there is no paywall for the National Dex or the expanded Dex in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and all of the Pokemon will be available to you. And it's not like Game Freak is just doing a $30 money grab or anything, that there's also going to be free updates that expand upon Pokemon Sword and Shield. And we already have a little bit of that going on with Galarian Slowpoke, and then more game updates. I'm hoping for balance changes, but we need to keep this in mind. Like, yeah, this is a nice, handy little thing. $30 gets you both the Olive Armor and the Crown Tundra, and free update gives you all of the Pokemon that will be added in anyways. And then we can talk about the Crown Tundra. So one thing I want to note is that's not just going to be a barren landscape of white and snow, that there's going to be a lot more going on here than what this map shows, especially if you look down here. It looks like this valley is going to be a playable area of the Crown Tundra, which shows that it's going to be a massive area. So we can see from the concept art, there's like a nice little clearing, there's a field, and then we have this little graveyard area. So that's going to be cool. And we saw through the Pokemon Direct, there's like houses, there's small little communities, and even if we look over here, so there's at least a signpost. There's some kind of life that you can point to and be like, yeah, there's people over there. So we got some cool things going on, and then little bits of the inside of the houses. But then when we actually get into the concept art, it does seem like a more lively place. That's like little field area I was talking about. And we can even see that kind of river rolling through. So this will be an area that you can explore inside of it. So I mean, I think this is actually going to feel pretty nice. Now, somehow there's morons out there that say the wild area feels empty, which is complete nonsense. So I feel that like the fear would be like, oh, it's just going to be DLC nothingness with a couple of areas to go to. But I think it's actually really well made. And when you think about the, color theory behind this one, the interior design, this is very warm feeling. This is going to help break that up. So you can go to the field if you just kind of feel like, man, I've been in this, snowy area hunting ice Pokemon for too long. You can kind of dial it back. So there is going to be a lot of diversity. There's going to be a lot of good stuff going on. And then we get to it, the theme is going to be exploration. So there might be some empty parts to kind of show that this is about exploration, this is about just kind of roaming around and getting a feel for what's going on, but I think it all comes together in a really nice way. And then just the details, you can pick out what you want from the Reggie caves, got some little idols going on that represent Regis. It seems like there is going to be some kind of item or some kind of theme going on for each of these little areas, some kind of box for Registeel, something with these ruins. So that's gonna be pretty cool. And then of course we do have the other forms for Regis. I talked about this. People are talking about like electric and the dragon form and stuff, but I'm more about X and Y. I want to know if this has ties to Kalos, that we have Reggie X, Reggie Y. I'm seeing a lot more Xerneas and Yveltal inspiration than I'm seeing people talk about. Like, Xerneas' horns being represented in this way, kind of. And then when it comes to Yveltal, the same color scheme. So there is an X and Y theme going on, for sure. But then we are going to have like a dragon and an electric Reggie, and these are pure typings. So I don't see any like dual typing or any kind of weirdness going on. I think we got some fun stuff to look forward to with the expansion of lore and the expansion of the decks in Pokemon Sword and Shield. And then last thing to note, we got new sponsors. So far in Generation 8, there are no sponsors that represent a Pokemon that are not available inside the games. We got a Sunflora logo down there. So, Sunflora being added in, looks like we have Golduck Evolution Line being added in, and depending on where you go on the website, you're going to find different Pokemon. So, Talonflame was shown in the trailer, we got to see a 3D model of that, we get to see it on this concept art, but we go and check out the discovered Pokemon. If we scroll down here, we just get to see some of them. So we don't see Talonflame, we don't see Psyduck, we don't see all of the Pokemon that were shown inside the trailer. There's going to be expansion that's going to make things really interesting competitively. Legendary Pokemon, there's a question mark over the Legendary Pokemon Den. New legendaries for Generation 8 because we didn't have a trio legendary. Who knows all of the things that are going to be added in, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe you learned something, maybe I showed you guys something that you didn't notice when first watching the Direct or even rewatching the Direct. There's a lot of details, and this is going to be a massive update. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.